Once upon a time, in a peaceful village in the heart of Igbo land, lived a young woman named Chiamaka. She was 22 years old, beautiful and ambitious. Her parents, well-respected elders of the community, had high hopes for her future. They had always encouraged her to be the best version of herself and a respected figure in their village. But Chiamaka was restless. She had her own plans. She felt the weight of the village traditions limiting her expectation. She longed for something more, a life beyond the village fields and her family's home. So one fateful evening, Chiamaka made a decision that would change her life forever. She packed her things, told her parents she was going to the city in search of better opportunities. "I will make you proud, Mama and Papa," she promised, her eyes sparkling with hope and ambition. Her parents, though reluctant, were supportive of her decision. "May the gods go with you, my daughter," her father said with a heavy heart. Chiamaka journeyed far from her village, entering the city filled with opportunities and dangers. She quickly found work in a tribal market, selling wares to traders who came from distant lands. She lived in a small apartment, always promising her parents that she was doing well. But as months passed, she became more distant in her letters. Her once cheery tone replaced with worried words. One evening, Chiamaka sent a final letter to her parents. It was like a mystery letter, almost as though she was trying to warn them without saying too much. "I have found something strange. It is not what I thought. I wish I could come home, but it is too late for me now. The city is not kind," she wrote. Her parents were worried, but the next morning they received a knock on their door. A stranger, a fellow villager who had been living in the city, stood before them. "Papa, Mama, Chiamaka, she's gone," he stammered, his voice shaking. The news hit her parents like a thunderbolt. Their beloved daughter was dead. "How? Where? Why?" her mother cried, her heart breaking into 1,000 pieces. The stranger told them that Chiamaka had been found lifeless in her apartment, a tragic end to her once bright future. She had been buried in the city grave, her death seen as an unfortunate accident. But the city was indifferent to the loss of one more stranger. But there was more. Chiamaka's body was to be returned to her village. Her parents arranged for her body to be brought home, but the night it arrived, strange things began to happen. As the coffin was brought into their compound, the atmosphere changed. The air grew thick and heavy, and the winds waved in an unnatural way. The villagers gathered around the home to mourn the loss of their daughter, but something felt wrong. Chiamaka's body, though lifeless, looked different. Her eyes were wide open, her skin pale as though she had been drained of life. There was a strange, unnatural smile on her lips. Her mother, unable to bear the sight of her once vibrant daughter, now unrecognizable, tried to close the coffin, but something held her back. Suddenly, a distant voice, soft but chilling, rang through the air. "It is not her." The voice sent a wave of fear through the crowd. Chiamaka's father stepped forward, his heart pounding. What? What do you mean? This is our daughter." The voice continued. "What you see is not your daughter's body. It was taken. A curse was placed upon her. The city claimed her soul." An old man from the village, a respected herbalist, stepped forward. "This is the work of the dark forces," she said. "Chiamaka has been led into something unnatural. I warned her not to go to the city. There are things there, things that take away souls, especially those who seek fame and fortune." Chiamaka's father, desperate for answers, went to the herbalist. The herbalist told him, "The city claimed your daughter's soul when she became greedy for more than what was meant for her. So she walked into the arms of a dark force that promised her power, only to take her life in return. Now her spirit is bound to the city. She will never rest until the evil that took her is destroyed." The herbalist's words haunted the villagers, and they began to fear that the spirit of Chiamaka was not at rest. That night, as the villagers tried to mourn, strange noises echoed through the village. There were whispers in the wind, the sound of footsteps that weren't human. The villagers, afraid of their safety, decided to conduct a ritual to cleanse the spirits. But as the ritual began, Chiamaka's coffin opened by itself, and from the darkness her lifeless form rose, her eyes sparkling with a supernatural light. In that moment, the curse was broken, but at a heavy cost. The evil spirit that had claimed Chiamaka's soul was freed, but it could never return to the city. It would wander in the village, taking others who sought power just as it had taken Chiamaka. As the spirit vanished, Chiamaka's voice whispered one last time, "I am sorry, I should have listened." Her parents buried their daughter with honor and sorrow, and the village never forgot the tales of Chiamaka, the girl who sought more than what the gods had destined for her. Moral of the story: ambition can sometimes lead us to places we are not prepared for.